All right. Sorry, let me get my chart set up real quick here. We had some? What the heck? We had some news, huh? All right. Sorry, let me get my chart. Pretty big sell-off on the. We had some? Wow. We had some news. Huh? Holy crap. Pretty big sell-off on the. Wow. All right. Wow. Holy crap. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see. Wow. All right. Let's mark this out. 15 minute. We had a big what's up? Obviously that 8:30 candle. All right. Let's mark this out. 15 minute. We had a big obviously that. Let me mark just a second. 8:30 candle. All right, let's mark this out. 15 minute. We had a big obviously that. Let me mark. 8:30 candle. Oh shoot. What the hell? It's NASDAQ futures we got going here. All right, 15-minute chart. We got a couple stuff going on here. First of all, we got these highs up here. Pretty interesting to see what happens there. I think those are pre-market highs, data highs also. So pre-market highs aligning pretty much perfectly with data highs. We got equal highs, data highs, pre-market highs, all of this up here. So obviously a lot of liquidity up here in this area. So also we got the lows down there. Data lows. Perfectly with data highs. We got equal highs, data highs. Data lows down there. So obviously a lot of liquidity up here in this area. So also we got the lows down there. Data lows. Alright, data lows. Trying to make it perfectly so I don't do what I did last time where I marked it out wrong. And honestly, that's pretty much the only thing, unless we push through data highs, and then we got, I don't know if that's all-time highs or not. I'll have to check. But we got highs up there too. So if we end up pushing through, honestly, that's pretty much the only thing, unless we push through data highs, and then we got, I don't know if that's, I mean, not data highs, freaking. Well, yeah, pushing through data highs and closing above it and start running up. So that's pretty much the levels as of right now. So we'll see what happens. We're tapping into this 15-minute, massive 15-minute data high. I mean, not data highs. Fair value gap. It's all time. Is it all-time highs? So that's pretty much the level up there as of right now. Let me. Is it really? Tapping into this 15-minute, massive 15-minute data high. Yeah, you're right. 24068 is the 24068. Up there. Let me. Is it really? Yeah, you're right. Hopefully it doesn't get there. That's that yeah, 24068. I'm hoping it doesn't get there. But who knows? Why would you sell or buy if? Would you sell or buy if you were in a trade right now? Right now, I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't get there. We're in a weird area right now where it's. But who knows? I mean, I personally wouldn't do anything because it's not my strategy. But we're tapping into this bullish gap right here. So right now, you never know. I mean, it could reverse off this bullish gap, or you know, on the 1 minute we look bullish, but on the 15 minute we look pretty bearish because we're tapping into this gap. There's a lot of resistance up here, so but we are above VWAP on the 1 minute. It could reverse off a lot of contradictions. On the 1 minute we look bullish, but on we want that reversal of data high sweeps and pre-market high sweeps. Yeah, I would love that reversal. I personally, yeah, I would love for price to either data lows or data highs, either one of them, right? I would love for price to come up, take out data highs, and then potentially start dumping back down for a quick short. So that's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully I could get some good price action today. Price action sucked yesterday, so hopefully it's a little better today for my strategy. But that's the thing, it's very how do you say it? Crap. What's the word for it? Like, price action can be good for one person, and then, you know, it could be horrible price action for another person. It just depends on your strategy. I've had days where I'm like, man, price action's awesome, and then other people are like, price action sucked. Well, it just didn't work for your strategy. What's the word for it? Like, price action can be good for one person, and that's a big part of, I think, trading is learning how to realize that your strategy is probably not going to work today, right? The faster you realize it, the faster you can, like, maybe get risk off, not take a trade, you know. Discretionary, yeah, discretionary. So learning how to realize that your strategy is probably not going to work today, right? The faster you realize. All right, we'll see what's going on here. I mean, right, we kind of know we're going to get some form of selling pressure, but I mean, can they hold it? Because VWAP is right there, so it's above. Right, that's the 15 minute. Let me move back to the 1 minute, see what's going on. So on the 1 minute, you can see what's going on. We're above that 200. We're above the VWAP. VWAP is pretty much right under the 200. Like, most of the time, 80% of the time when I say VWAP, VWAP's not on this chart, but VWAP is right around that 200 day. Usually it's right around it. So on the 1 minute, you can see they align pretty closely. We're above the VWAP. VWAP is pretty much right under the 200. But we're above VWAP. We're above that 200 day. So we'll see. Once we start breaking below, there's some support down here. But if it can get through this support, right, we could see a pretty straight shot back down. Maybe this 869 level support that we have right here. We're above that 200 day. So if it can get through that support, get through this gap, that support, and then potentially go back down to data lows, sorry. But honestly, for me, it doesn't matter. I don't really care if it goes down to data lows or data highs. It really does not matter for me. If it can get through that support, get through this gap, that support, and then potentially you got to learn how to wallet watch? What the heck is wallet watching? For me, it doesn't matter. I don't really care if it goes down to data lows or good morning. What time? This is the 1 minute time frame, right? This is the 1 minute, but I chart on the 15 minutes, so I have my levels marked out on the 15 minute. So I'll show, if you go to the 15 minute, right, I have these levels marked out. We have lows. These are data lows, a lot of liquidity there. Data highs, a lot of liquidity, and those are all-time highs. Hopefully we don't get to all-time highs, but so far, those are the two levels I'm interested in for today. We're pushing up to data highs right now. We have a pivot point there too, so that aligns with data highs. So pretty good area. Hopefully we don't get to all-time highs, but so far those are the two levels I'm interested in for today. Time frame are you on? Right now, yeah. I think I already asked that. I answered that. So appreciate the follow. Thank you. Good area. Time frame are you on? Right now, yeah. I think I already asked. All right, we're still kind of in this. Now, anytime it really gets to VWAP like this is a lot of times it starts to kind of chop around, go sideways at VWAP. As you see what's happening right now, it's kind of just going sideways until it really starts to get more momentum to the upside or downside. very common for this to happen. At VWAP. A lot of times it starts to kind of price is really pretty balanced at VWAP. As you see what's happening right now, it's kind of just going sideways until it really starts to get more momentum to the upside or downside. It's kind of like a VWAP is kind of like an iffy area. Like price is pretty balanced there, and like you don't really know. We're not really bullish. We're not really bearish. So it's like it just goes sideways until, you know, one breaks out, until the bulls kind of take over or the bears take over, and then it. Once it starts getting further away from VWAP, then you really see it start to, like, you know, get more momentum to one side instead of chopping sideways. But that's why you kind of always got to be careful at VWAP, because this chop happens. You don't want to get stuck in chop. That's the worst. Consolidation, yeah. You don't want to get stuck in this. This is the worst to get stuck in. You know, get more momentum to one side instead of chopping sideways. But that's why you kind of always got to be careful at VWAP. This chop happens. VWAP is pretty much, I think the VWAP is probably one of the most used indicators in trading. Like pretty much every trader has VWAP on their chart, so that's why it works so well, because everyone uses it. So pretty much, but it's spelled like this. I'll put it in the comments. It has VWAP on their chart, so that's why it works so well. Cause that's how it's spelled. So, but yeah, it's pretty much what it means is volume weighted average price. So that's why price is pretty balanced at VWAP. That's how it's spelled. But yeah, it's pretty much what it means is volume weighted average. Do you buy stock? I don't trade stocks. This is futures. I trade futures with the prop firm. So I don't trade any stocks or anything. That's how it's spelled. Yeah, it's pretty much what it means is volume weighted average. Do you buy stock? I don't trade stocks. This is futures. I trade futures. All right, let's see if we can get a push through here. Come on. So I don't trade any stocks or anything. There it is. Starting to move. Institutions use, that's why it's a good indicator. Yeah, I mean, institutions probably use it. Like I said, like pretty much every trader uses it. I think it's like one of the most popular indicators. Anytime you have an indicator that most people use, it's automatically going to work pretty well, right? As like a gauge, right? Now, you don't take trades off of VWAP, but you just understand like what's happening at VWAP. I think it's like one of the most popular indicators. Like no experienced trader uses VWAP kind of as entries, like to take trades off of. As like a gauge, right? Now, you don't take trades off of VWAP, but you maybe it could be extra confirmation if you have a setup and VWAP happens to be there as your entry, then it gives you just extra level of confirmation, but you don't use it to take trades off of. This is NASDAQ futures. Maybe it could be extra confirmation if you have a setup and VWAP happens to be there as your entry, then it gives you just extra level of confirmation. See, we're getting some consolidation, but you don't use it to take trades off. New 15-minute candle just opened, so what happened? Now we got a bullish gap to the downside. I mean, a bullish gap. Some consolidation, but oh wait, no, never mind. We have to wait for this candle to close before we get any. Now we got a bullish gap. Never mind. I mean, a bullish gap. All right, let's go. Oh wait, no, never mind. I have to wait for this candle to close. There we go. Momentum starting to come in. Never mind. All right, let's go. This is NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ. Momentum starting to come in. Ripping. All right, we're about to. Once we kind of close above this gap, I mean, it's pretty much. This is NASDAQ. Or we're gonna be right at those highs. NASDAQ. The gap's huge, man. What news? I always forget to check, but if we have any more news, I don't. see.
Once we kind of close above this gap, I mean.
What's today? Thursday. Okay, Thursday.
Right at those highs.
No, we had PPI right at 8:30. That's what that big news was. 10:30 natural gas, nothing.
If we have any more news.
So.
I don't.
So no really news to worry about. How about
Thursday? Okay, Thursday. No, we had PPI.
I don't think Trump is talking today. He was talking yesterday. I think he's talking tomorrow too. Tomorrow you got to be careful. I don't know because he's talking with Putin tomorrow.
So no really news to worry about. How about
All right. U.S. Where is it? No.
Yesterday, I think he's talking tomorrow.
What the?
Tomorrow, you gotta
Bro?
be careful.
Trump's talking today again.
He's talking with tomorrow.
What the flip? This is wild, man.
Alright, U.S.
Every day at 10 a.m. European markets closed. So that shifts our markets
Bro.
because of the new traders.
Trump's talking today again.
I guess, oh, that's where it overlaps.
This is wild.
This is NASDAQ futures.
Every day at 10 a.m. European markets closed.
I'm not long or short. That's wild, dude. He was talking yesterday. He's talking today again. But I'm not going to be on at 1, so it really doesn't matter for me. I won't even be on the charts at 1.
I'm not long or short.
So, let's see it. Gosh. Let's get further away from view up. Do you trade on margin? I trade with prop firms. Apex Trader Funding. I have a question. Yeah, what's your question? What are you waiting for in the market? Waiting for these highs right here. See what happens at these data highs. See how price reacts at those data highs. Hopefully we can get some trade off of data highs. Did you purchase? You mean prop firm? I only trade futures. This is MNQ, yes. MNQ. Yeah, I'm funded with 10 accounts. Funded with 10 accounts. I have 4 more evaluation accounts I'm trying to pass, but yeah, I'm funded with Apex. So I bought evaluation accounts, passed the evaluation accounts, and got funded. And then I copy trade 10 funded accounts and 4 other evaluation accounts that I'm trying to pass. Why do you only trade futures? I used to trade stocks, options, and then I went to futures, and I just like futures. I like watching the same thing every single day, NASDAQ. I don't have to worry about finding the best moving stock of the day to trade. I used to trade penny stocks. I've gone through all that. The only thing I've never traded is Forex. But like, it's because I heard some, negative stuff about it. So I went from options to futures because of prop firms, and I kind of stuck with futures. I like futures because there's no time decay. There's none of that crap. So that you get with options. And there's more opportunities for beginners with futures because of all this prop firm space. There are a lot of opportunities for beginners and people to learn and actually get payouts and stuff. If someone has to work mornings, do you recommend Asia session? Yeah, Asia session is good, depending on what, There's London session, Asia session. Whatever works best for your schedule, I would trade that. I mean, that's what I would do if I couldn't trade in the mornings. I would probably do like Asia or something. So you're not margined? No, I mean, it's a prop firm account. So in essence, like, the way prop firm accounts work, you can get payouts. It's not like an actual live account in the beginning. They can put you in a live account, but it's like a simulated account, but you can get payouts from it. Like, you can actually request payouts when you follow the rules, you hit the profit targets, and like after a certain amount of time, you can request actual payouts. All right, we're like making a double top. What the flip? Are you kidding me? I use Ninja Trader. Ninja Trader. But with prop firms, my orders kind of go through they use a third party system called R Trader. So that's how it works. In the evenings? Yeah, I mean, price action's a little slower in the evenings, but it's not as bad. I mean, New York session gets pretty much some of the best price action in the mornings. Bro, really? Why does it do this? So close, it just rejects right off it. Man. Do not tell me it's gonna reverse without even taking that high. This is wild, dude. This is... Really? What the heck happened? That's a pretty strong... Maybe we'll come down to take these lows. Maybe we're coming down to take these lows and then possibly reverse back up, try to go for the highs. It's kind of creating a double top. I mean... Now if it takes out these lows, it goes back to the highs to take them out. This is NASDAQ. See, if it would have took this high, I would have probably got into this trade for a TP at the lows. My take profit would be this body candle low. It wouldn't have hit yet, but see if it would have hit. But dude, that's like, man, it's wild. And there would have been TP. Like, really? Like, get a good setup, but they didn't sweep the highs, so I couldn't take the trade. My trade setup would have been here, right there, that gap. If it would have swept these highs, as soon as it inversed this gap, I would have went short for the body candle lows right here. And it would have hit my TP. But because it never took out that high, I never went short. Because, I mean, it's not... You took it? The reason I wanted to take out the high first is so that my stop is kind of protected, right? I don't want it to do this, come back down, and then without taking the high, and then rip up and take that high and stop me out. So I use that as like a protection for my short, like technically, right? So if it takes out the high and it starts dropping, in my mind, it shouldn't want to come back up there. It'll go to like a next liquidity point before it goes back up. So, but that's crazy. I mean, it hasn't taken out the low. And this is exactly, remember I said this, right? I may make a video on this because I don't know if anybody ever talking about this. But how the market likes to come down, take out the body candle lows, and then rip back up. Like, I know a lot of traders that like to take profit at the low lows, right? At the wick low. Look what happened. Look what happened. Price came down, it took out the body candle low right here, but it never took the low, right? So the ultimate low, it never took it out. It only took out the body candle low. I don't know why it does that, but it's kind of interesting. I've seen that happen so many times. That's why a lot of times when you'll see me put a take profit in, I'm always putting take profit most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time I'm putting take profits in at the body candle lows instead of the low lows. Always take the body. Yeah, it's, I don't know why it does that, but it's happened so many times. It happened yesterday. If I would have took body candle profit at like the body candle highs, it came up, took that out, and then reversed on me. But let's see what happens. I mean, it kind of created equal lows down here too. So maybe it could take out these highs and then reverse to go back for these equal lows. I don't know. What's your strat? Pretty much liquidity sweep, inverse fair value gap to the next internal liquidity. All right, let's see if we can make it up there. Wow, now we got two gaps. If you notice, two gaps align perfectly. We got this bullish gap and this bearish gap that align perfectly. See what happens. I mean, now this gap is pretty much kind of invalidated. I need it to come up, sweep it, and form a new gap to go back down. So, man, I just got like super hungry out of nowhere. Why is it invalidated? Because it already it's already inversed it. So let me see, where's my box? So if you look, right, this gap right here, it didn't take out the high and it already inversed that gap. So once it kind of inverses the gap, it pretty much invalidates it. Then I look for another gap to potentially maybe take out the highs and then but this gap could hold. I mean, it's potential because this is a bearish gap. So it's coming up to that bearish gap. So it's kind of, I hasn't tapped into it even yet, but I'm trading micros, the MNQs, but I do have the NQ chart pulled up too. I mean, but yeah, this chart right here is the MNQs. I mean, it moves the same as the NASDAQ pretty much. The NQs, just different contract size. Yeah, it's the same. I've seen like very little differences in it. Like there could be a small difference, but it's nothing to like really, just because it is a different chart, so it's different, you know. Maybe that's just because, I don't know. Maybe that's just the broker, it just moves the same, but hit the fair value gap. Trying to take a short. I mean, I'd be careful with a short just because of, I mean, it could, I don't know. I mean, it's, I guess if it's your strategy, then take it, but it hasn't taken out this high. I would like this high to get taken out so it could don't know, maybe it comes back down, try to take out the lows before going back up. It hasn't even bounced into that, tapped into that gap. But be careful, because if it breaks this high right here, it could really propel and try to take out that high. So you don't really want to get stuck in like a, I don't know, there's a possibility it can come back up, and we're above view op too, so. Oh, I entered long if price takes out the high, then I hit TP. Oh, you're long right now? And yeah, we're pretty bullish. We're above. So far, we're above the, view op, the 200. It starts to getting ugly if we start breaking down these lows here, because then we're going to be below view op and all that. So, but it could tap into that gap. There's a gap right here that it could kind of tap into, take out these lows, and then bounce off of. What time is there? Oh, it's already 10:04. So. I love it when it aligns perfectly, like 10:30 mark. It starts to come for these highs at like 10:30, because a lot of times we get like a reversal at 10:30, so it's the extra confirmation. I'll make 1,000. Like, that's good. That's pretty good. Make sure you have your stop loss in place. I mean, you always want to protect your. You never know what's gonna happen. Market's unpredictable. Well, it's predictable, but you never know the outcome. So you have to manage your risk. We got a on the 15-minute. There's a bullish gap on the 15-minute down here. So. So we have this massive bullish gap right here. A lot of support down here. So price could really come for these lows, that 898 level, and then rip right back up. Where's that 8988? Yeah, so like, honestly, this wouldn't be a bad long either. If price kind of comes down here, takes out that 15-minute, there's a lot of confluences down there. And tapping into this gap. We'll see. If I do take something like that, it'll be very small size, but what the heck? Kind of, not really though. It's got this like weird bull flag forming kind of deal. It's like almost starting to form like a bull flag, but right, because we got this like trend line to the downside that's kind of holding, and then we got this forming now to the upside, this right here, which is kind of like a bull flag for it to break out to the upside. So, see what happens. A little late to the party, what you trade? NASDAQ futures. That would be a triangle. I mean, it's called a bull flag, right? Because you have price that moves up and then kind of consolidates into a flag form. I mean, maybe it's called. Man, there's different names for different things. Bull flag, triangle. Most people call it bull flag, but. what I've seen this happen before, like, right, is it'll, because most people see this and they're thinking upside. All right, this is gonna rip to the upside, which is it's what a bull flag is bullishness. But like a lot of times I've seen it come back down. It'll kind of like fake people out. Like this bull flag will form, price will come back down, it'll take out a low of the bull flag, and then it'll rip back up to the upside. So like people that are trying to jump in early right here, right? And they're thinking this is just gonna rip right now, and then ends up stopping everybody out and then ripping to the upside. So see if that happens or not, but getting a lot of, we got view up right here, so all right. Is it seriously gonna do exactly what I said could happen? It'd be so funny if exactly happens. It sweeps it and then rips. It could fake out. Yeah, it could very likely fake out. I've seen it happen. Maybe I'll take a small size trade if it ends up doing it. But I would want these lows to get taken out first before I even think about going long. Seems bearish now that it swept that high. It never swept the high. That's the thing. It's like it never took out the high. Hold on, let me look on an NQ chart. Did it? Oh, what the flip, dude? It did take out the high. It didn't take out the high. See, this is what I'm talking about. MNQ, it never took out the high. Or is it the second day in a row that I've drawn my lines wrong? No, it never took out the high on my chart. The flip? Bruh. Look at my chart. Look at this. It never took out the high. But if you look on NQ, it took out the high. Let me go to... What the... I'm looking at NQ chart on my other computer, and it took out the high on NQ. Oh, wait. I'm looking at it wrong. Never mind. Sorry, never mind. I'm tripping. I'm looking at the wrong thing. It never took out the high. Ooh, that scared me. I was about to say, did I just miss a trade? No, I never. Yeah, so... it could still likely go for that high. Yeah, I was looking... what I was looking at when I accidentally... I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the 830 candle. But... yeah, here it never... so it could still be a magnet up. It created like equal highs up there. So equal highs are usually a magnet, right? For price to go back up and take out equal highs. So maybe if we can like get in small size, take out these lows right here, that would be also a 15-minute. If you go on the 15-minute chart, that's like this 15-minute low right there. So this kind of like right there, because you see a lot of buying pressure stepped in right there. So maybe if you can kind of like tap back into this gap right here and sweep this low and then start moving up, maybe something like that would be interesting. How does day trading work? I mean, you pretty much buy and sell It's day trading. All day trading means is you're buying and selling in the same day. Whether it's a stock, option, futures, contract, whatever it is. You're buying and selling in the same day. So like somebody that's, for example, like in stocks, somebody's trading Apple. If somebody buys Apple and sells it in the same day, it's considered a day trade. If they buy Apple and sell it the next day, it's considered a swing trade. Alright, we're tapping view up. Let's see what happens here. Wait, did I mark out? Let me make sure. Where's that 15 minute? Man, am I marking it out wrong? There. Man. Your voice is really behind? Really? Mine is good. I mean, it's good on my end. I don't know what's going on. This is Ninja Trader. No, the echo was because I have, the echo was, I was looking on my phone to see if everything was working. Because I'm reading the chats. I have it open on my phone. So when I turned on the volume, it was echoing into the mic, the volume. I'm stuck on AMD yet. Stuck. It's not a good spot to be at if you're stuck. That's not a good sign. You always want to plan. You never really should be stuck in a trade. Meaning, like, the only way you stuck is if it just goes sideways. Then you could just get out, or, I mean, but you never want to be, like, stuck in a trade in a sense of, like, you don't know where your exit is. You always want to have a stop loss. So, an invalidation point. And a stop loss that makes sense, right? You never really want to put a stop loss in an area where just because, like, for example, like, oh, I only want to risk 200 bucks on this trade. So my stop loss has to be right here in order for, you want to be able to adjust your size based on, right, the chart, right? So that your, where your stop is your invalidation point. So your stop has to be, your stock has to be in an area where if price gets there, you're pretty much saying, I don't even want to hold on. I don't want to be in this anymore if price gets down there. Because it invalidates my trade. So, like I was saying earlier, yesterday, right? Saying yesterday, probabilities. Look at the chart at the market as probabilities. So your stop is in an area, right? So you take an entry you take an entry, and you taking that entry, what you're saying is, if you have your TP at a high, what you're saying is, right now there's a higher probability that I think that there's a higher probability that price can go to my TP than my stop loss. So your stop loss has to be, in an area where if it hits it, you're pretty much saying probability has shifted now based on price action, and now probability is against me. So I don't even want to be in this trade anymore if probability is against me. Like, trading is very similar to, like, poker, right? Poker is like probabilities in psychology, which same thing with trading. It's all probabilities. That's why a lot of professional poker players and good poker players, they also day trade. So, because it's very similar. You know, like if someone's playing poker, probabilities against them, I mean, they just fold, right? Same thing with trading. Probability is against you, you just get out of the trade. But what are you looking for? I'm looking for this high to get swept and see if we can get an entry. I was looking for this, never got swept up here. It just dumped on me without sweeping it. If it would have swept it, I would have got an entry for a short, but see what happens. I'm hoping it doesn't just shoot through this without even like, and go for the highs. I'm shooting for 1% profit or 2% losses, currently negative. So you have a negative risk to reward. I mean, you've got to be careful with that. I mean, not to say there are people that are profitable with a negative risk to reward, but the problem is you have to have a higher win rate, right? So for example, a 1-to-1 risk to reward, a 50% win rate is a break-even rate system. So if you have a 60% win rate with a 1-to-1, right, you're profitable. But if you have a negative, right, if you have a negative risk to reward, that means your win rate has to be higher. So I don't know what the numbers are in that, but like if you have a negative, you know, you're risking 2 to make 1, then your win rate may have to be like, you know, 80 to 90% to be profitable. Which is pretty hard to do, to consistently have a 90% win rate. Now, like what I do, right? I typically enter off a 1-to-1 risk to reward, but a lot of times I will get out of the trade early. So technically I'm risking a lot less than 1-to-1, you know, so like for example, this trade right here, for example, let's say this would have took out the highs and I would have entered. I would have entered with a 1-to-1 risk to reward. You know, TP down here, stop loss, hard stop loss above the highs. But if price was to come back up and like close above this gap right here, I would get out early. So my risk, I would be saving this much money, because in my mind, if it closes above the gap, it's probably going for these highs. So I would get out early just to save some money. So in the long run, even though I take 1-to-1, sometimes I even take a little bit of a negative risk to reward, but in the end it tends out working out, because a lot of the trades I get out early. So but there are people, I mean, that do have a, you know, they are profitable with a negative. I don't know about a 2-to-1. Sometimes it's like a, you know, like a 1.5-to-1. See if we can take out those highs. I'm ready for it too. It's having so much trouble at those highs. It's freaking wild. What is the time set? This is the 1 minute, but I look on the 15 minute for my entries. So you could see, I mean, I had this level marked out right here and never took it out. I mean, it really dropped right before it took out that level. So I'm hoping if we can kind of tap back in and maybe get a massive candle down like we did there, that would be a good entry. And I like to see that, especially when highs get taken out. When highs get taken out and we see a massive candle down like this, that like really shows me that, you know, sellers are stepping in aggressively. And you can kind of see how much trouble it's getting. Once it's getting to this level, look how much like trouble it's having. And like I said earlier, remember, I love it when it aligns with that 1030 mark, because a lot of times I've seen it happen time and time again where we get a reversal at 1030. So if this pairs up with like the 1030 mark and it can really push, sweep it at 1030 and reverse, see what happens though. This is futures. Russia tensions are going to be a selling point in the market downturn initiated. Yeah, we got, so there's a lot of, right now there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, especially with what's going on tomorrow. You know, I think Putin's coming to Alaska and meeting with Trump. So a lot of uncertainty with what's going to go down in that meeting, right? So a lot of people are on their, you know, a lot of people are kind of scared to see what's going to happen. You never know. I mean, never know what's going to happen during that meeting. So people, I think, are going to be playing the defensive until after the meeting. Like, think about it. Like, do you think, like, do you think like hedge funds and stuff are getting into huge positions right before like a very important meeting that could potentially go south? You never know. It's Trump. It can go south, and you know, so people are probably. This is also probably a big reason why we're kind of going sideways, right? We're not getting any, like, we did get a decent move, but then once it kind of, actually not really. I mean, look, this right here is 935. So pretty much right when market open, we got a little bit of a spike, market open, and then we just been consolidating for the rest of the morning. Probably because of the meeting tomorrow, right? Nobody's getting into a huge position right before a huge meeting. I mean, those are the people that really, those are the people that move the market. So still looking for a reversal if we dumped 100 points and pumped 100 points. Potentially. I mean, if I do, probably not going to go in full size, but a little bit less. But potentially I would still, if I see a setup, I mean, I'd take it. I mean, it's got a badass long. It never took out any levels. That's the thing. It's, look, it's never taken out really any highs or lows. Look, no levels. This high hasn't got taken out. Not even any internal highs really got taken out. This is the first internal high right here. This is the first internal high that it really just swept and showed some kind of like. I just joined. Did you offer a mentorship? No, I do not offer anything. So if you, I don't message anybody. I'm not going to reach out to you asking for anything. I don't have a mentorship, no Discord, no nothing. So if you see somebody try to offer you something from me, it's fake, because I don't offer anything. So man, it's having, see what happens here. Why not start a Discord though? I mean, I don't really want to really deal with it. I don't really want to charge people. I'm trying to get an affiliate code for Apex. So if somebody wants to like support or anything, if they do buy like a PropFirm account from Apex, they can use my code, and that's one way of being able to like. But I mean, all this stuff that, what's the, like, think about this, like, what's the point of having a Discord? Like, all you're doing is trying to, you know, take money from people, really. So it's like, all the stuff that would be happening in a Discord would be happening on here. Like, I could, you know, doing the same thing just for free. So are you in a short or a long? I'm not in anything right now. Like copy trading. Yeah, I copy trade. I have 10 funded accounts and 4 evaluation accounts that I'm trying to pass. Well, we're consolidating because you possibly explain your thinking when it comes to strategy. My strategy is a sweep of a higher time frame, high or low, and then I get an entry off that. But no, I don't have a Discord. But every day, right, I mark out higher time frame levels. So like you see these levels marked out on like a 15-minute time frame, right? Higher time frame levels marked out, and then I wait for one of those levels to get swept, and then say, for example, selling pressure to start to come in. So aggressive selling pressure. So I look for a sign. I don't just enter just because it sweeps it. I wait for sellers to start to come in, and then that kind of confirms that we could go lower. Very simple strategy. It's not complicated whatsoever. You just have to be patient. Most strategies in trading are not complicated. People just aren't patient for them. I wait for session reversal. Yeah, like pre-market highs, pre-market lows are amazing, like, you know, reversal points. Any time, like, right, what the chart is, what the market is in the chart is just historical data displayed in like bars for you. So when you look at historical data and you look at something, right? You look at something like this right here. What does this tell you on a chart, right? This tells you that a lot of buyers stepped in. This was news, but a lot of buyers stepped in at this area. So if we come back down, my theory is we could get a lot of buyers start to step in again. So let's see what happens here. People overcomplicate and people aren't patient. Especially newbies. That's the biggest downfall of new traders, is when you get into trading. Like when I got into trading, I was obsessed with trading. And I always wanted to be in every single move, right? I felt like I was missing out. If something like this happened right here, right? Something like this move happened right here, I'd be like, oh, I'm missing out. I could have made money right here. I could have made money right here. I could have made money right here. And you feel like every move, you're always missing out. But then as time went by, you know, I got, you know, punched in the face enough by the market by doing stupid crap. And then eventually you just become more patient and you have your own strategy. That's all you wait for, is your own strategy. And I could sit here, now I can sit here and I can watch all these moves happen and I don't get any FOMO, any nothing, because I know what I'm waiting for. So what really pisses me off is if I take a trade and it's not according to any strategy, not according to any plan. Even if I make money, it's still like, in my mind, it's not a winning trade because I didn't have a plan. So in the long run, if you do that, you're just gonna lose money. I lost 300 today because of FOMO. FOMO will get you hard. You gotta be careful with FOMO. I've gotten wrecked with FOMO before, especially when you get stopped out and price goes immediately in your direction, and then you try to hop back in and it stops you out again, and then you can start to go on this nasty cycle. Especially with new traders, what they try to do is they have, like, even if they have a plan, they get stopped out. For example, if somebody was looking to take a short, right? Say he or she took a short and price ended up reversing back up and stopping them out. And then that person, what they do is now they enter into a long position. And then that long, it ends up pulling back and stopping them out. So it's like a nasty cycle of just getting stopped out. I'm not trading anymore after 9. Oh, so you trade pre-market. Way too volatile. You gotta be careful, yeah. If you do trade, you have to have your stop. You have to be like very conservative with your and like position size correctly. I really don't do demo because I wanted to have real feelings about the market, and I'm shocked. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, that's the one negative part about a demo, is you don't have the emotional aspect of having real money on the line. But if you have a strategy already that you want to use, prop firms are a great way, right? The reason prop firms are a great way is because, first of all, you're still investing some form of money. For example, with Apex, right? It's like $33 to get an evaluation account. Then when you pass the evaluation and you want to get a funded account, it's $140 for a funded account. So you do have money on the line, but it's not like a crazy amount of money that's going to affect your life, right? If you size correctly and you're not just going crazy size and blowing your accounts every day. If you're sized correctly and, you know, you still have the emotional aspect, but it's not like something that will like mess with you. All right, let's see what happens here. We took out data highs now. See how this candle closes possibly. So far, we're not really getting a sweep. We're still pushing above it, but we're not, and no gaps either. This candle can kind of, we got 30 seconds left on this candle. See what happens. Do we get a gap form? Possibly, maybe go down to the lows again. The only thing that worries me, it hasn't really taken out a low. So that's why that kind of tells me I got to be extra careful if I do take a trade. Let me see. Bruh. Very tiny gap, so nothing really, I don't know. Very small size if I don't know. I don't like how small this gap is, because typically small gaps don't. But I'll try. I'll give it a try. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. If we do get a 15-minute candle. How long do we have left? So it's 10:45. About 5 minutes. 6. Wait. 10. What is it? 35. So about 10 or 11 minutes till that new 15-minute candle opens. Hit TP. Congratulations. It worked out. That's good. Why are you thinking shorts or longs? I'm looking if it possibly can sweep these highs and start getting selling pressure come in from the highs. I like a bigger gap. I don't like these tiny gaps, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll probably still take a trade. It's still kind of all right, let's see what happens. So far, price is kind of holding. Ugh. Very tight risk. All right, selling pressure starting to come in. We got a whole minute left before this candle even closes. So you see selling starting to kind of creep in. But I'm hope there's one level here that it can hold as support level. This level right here, it can hold it as support. That's pretty much the only level to get to these lows, these internal lows. But see how this candle closes. Hopefully, see what happens. Go long. Bigger fair value gap on the 3-minute or 2-minute. See what happens. I'll wait for this candle to close and I'll look on another time frame, see what's going on. So we're still getting a push out of that gap. See, it tapped into that gap. Now we're getting a push out of it. So it's still closing. Looks like it's still closing above. Yeah. All right. Let's look on the. You said 2-minute? Let me see. Yeah, we do have. There is a little gap right there on the 2-minute chart. And then also, if you look on the 15-minute chart, there's even a bigger gap to the... There's a gap on the 15-minute too, right there. But, so... see what happens. Small risk, right? Stop loss is going to be right above those highs if I do take a trade. So, tight risk. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. But so far, we're getting buying pressure step in at that. But it's failing to make new highs, right? We're not getting the momentum to make new highs. It's really not having that, like, push for... It's kind of, really weird. 1037. I like that. Oh my gosh. So if we really fail to make new highs, I mean that's a start of a good sign, right? We're failing to make new highs on this. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but do not follow me. Let's see what's going on the... We got a Got a pivot point. We're holding that pivot point too. I didn't even realize we have a pivot point there. This gold line right there is a pivot point. So see if it breaks out of the highs. I mean, so far it's not getting the momentum to go for those highs. So I usually like to kind of see this when it really, even though when it's a tiny gap, typically I don't like to take tiny gaps, but if price can really show me that it's like, see, it's holding the gap. So it's showing that, you know, holding that gap, bouncing off the pivot. So now if we can kind of break below this gap, I would want price to kind of come down to these lows at least. For like typically, you know, a little bit better probably than a 1-to-1. But we do have, the other thing is we do have like all-time highs up there. So I don't know if price wants to go for those all-time highs. That line up here is all-time highs. We're so close to all-time highs that I don't know. This is kind of a weird area. It's trying to push. So see, it's rejecting. So it's not, it can't break through those highs. It's having a lot of trouble breaking through those highs. All right, they're breaking through the highs again. Sorry if I don't, I'm just so focused on price that I may miss some. I only answer off the unicorn. I don't use any of that. I just use liquidity. I just use higher time frame sweeps and IFVGs. That's pretty much it. I don't look for any kind of like, I don't even know what that strategy is. I never studied ICT. I just kind of, Feds will come in with quadruple volume candles to drive it. Starting to see what that 15-minute candle, I mean, that 15-minute candle, if we could really get dumping from here, get a big wick on the 15-minute candle, also a good sign, right? So we got like 5 minutes till that new 15-minute candle opens. 5 minutes. So we're getting a decent sized wick. If it could start closing below this gap, you know, liquidity, fair value, gap filled. Yeah, it's a good strategy. I mean, it works as long as you're patient for it. The simpler the better. Yeah, the simpler the better. You don't want something so complicated that, you know, stuff starts to contradict each other. And like the higher we go, right, I would have to adjust. First, my size would be different, right? Like if it would have closed below, so kind of the higher it goes here, size would have to get adjusted based on the risk I'm willing to take on the trade, right? So I size down. When it goes a little bit higher, now I have to size down contract size in order for it to accommodate my risk that I'm willing to take. Now, if it starts ripping further above, it invalidates the trade, and pretty much I don't even want to take it anymore. It's not worth it for the risk to reward. All right, 42. 3 minutes till that 15-minute candle opens. Let's see how the close of this 15-minute candle goes. Last 3 minutes of this 15-minute candle. If we can get a big wick, so pretty much if it can close below, it'll be a pretty decent sized wick on that 15-minute candle for maybe some continuation. I don't know. Can only speculate. What's the smallest size you will take? Like one contract or like one portion of a contract? It just depends on I mean, I've taken during like Trump tariff news, I was taking 1 micro just because how volatile it was. I was using literally 1 micro. So I will use whatever the setup is depending on the risk I'm willing to take per trade. And that depends if I'm trading a valuation or a funded account. You know, there's different size risks based on, you know, well, what I'm willing to risk based on my account size, based on where I am. All right, 43, 2 minutes left. Starting to get some selling pressure here, but. No, I typically take like around a 1-to-1. Sometimes usually it's better than a 1-to-1 because I end up getting out of the trades early. Like, you know, if it closes back above the gap, then I get out early. So my risk is typically a little bit better than a 1-to-1. Not exactly sure how, but like something like this kind of a gap, I would maybe take a stop above the highs. Just because it's such a small gap that, I mean, we could easily close above the gap, right? So I would have to maybe take a stop at the highs for something like this kind of. All right, we got 30 seconds left until the new 15-minute candle opens. We're really getting, I mean, there's a wick, but. So look how this 15-minute candle opens. Last 5 seconds of the 15-minute candle. It's closing pretty bullish, right? You could see that. There's the open. So at this point, it's not a sweep, right? At this point, we're probably going for those. I mean, unless we get some kind of. It's not really a sweep anymore. It's closing pretty bullish above that level. So I don't like that. I take 1 to 2, sometimes 1 to 3 if I'm really confident it looks good. So the way I take the trades, right? The way I take profits, I don't go based on like 1 to 2, 1 to 1. I go based on price, like the market structure, chart structure, right? I go based on highest probability, right? So if I was to enter, for example, take a short below the gap, if I would be to go to this low just because, right? It would be the highest probability for me. Price is most likely to go to that low, right? Maybe take out the low and then reverse. So that's just, I just go based on what the chart shows me that it wants to do. Sometimes there's a big gap, right? Say if I'm shorting and there's a massive gap. Say I was long here, right? Say I was long here. Typically, you would see me, right, take profit at the highs, at the body candle highs. For this trade, I would not take profit at the body candle highs because there's a gap right there. And I understand we could reject off that gap. It hasn't even filled that gap yet. So in my mind, I understand we can reject off that gap, so my TP would have to be in that gap. So that's just how I trade. I mean, and you see what happened, that rejection off that gap, right? It tapped into this gap, and then look at that rejection off it. I mean, it ended up going back up there, but like, I just, in my mind, I like to go for highest probability. So typically, if it's around a 1-to-1, I'll take the 1-to-1. I don't need, you know, these small profits, small 1-to-1s, if you have a good win rate, they do add up over time. And especially, this is why I was saying I'm trying to focus my risk so that I get out of the trades early when the trade is invalidated. So now I get a way better than a 1-to-1 trade, right? Then over the long run, I don't have a 1-to-1. I have better than that, even though I do take 1-to-1 trades. New York fair value gap. Oh, did it? I didn't even. How do you set up your boxes? Because I can't ever figure out how to count them. Oh, yeah. These boxes help so much with risk management. I would recommend everyone to have these boxes. I don't know how people trade without them. But honestly, on Ninja Trader, I'm not sure. You would have to look on Google. There should be a video or a tutorial how to set up or just mess around with the properties. Like if you go on the chart, you right click, and there should be a way for you to set the increments of the like the boxes, your point system, and it'll go like, I think it's vertical and like diagonal, so you can set up how spaced out your box is. So I have mine set to 10 points. So every box is 10 points. Every box is essentially $20 for 1 micro. So I just have to quickly count the boxes and multiply by how much contracts, you know, how much risk I'm willing to take. But it's a very easy way to calculate risk quickly without having to use any like calculator, or sometimes you have to use a calculator if you're not good at math, but what's the box called? We're talking, when I say boxes, we're not talking about this gray box right here. We're talking about, you see these boxes right here? It's hard to see, but they're very like, these boxes all over the chart. I have mine set to 10-point increments so that I can quickly calculate risk. If I'm in a short or something, I can quickly, okay, 20, 30, 40, 60. 60 multiplied by 5 contracts would be X amount. So it would just quickly calculate risk in your head. But they're not called anything. They're like a setting you use on your chart to, you could do it. I don't know if other trading platforms have it. I know Ninja Trader has it because I use it. Yeah, and the cool thing, yeah, no problem. And the cool thing, right, like, why I like my strategy is because I never enter short, right? If the trade never worked out, look at this. See? I was looking to potentially enter short, just never got the short. So you stay out of it. You don't risk money. You don't lose money. You're just hands off. This is what I was looking for to happen, essentially, right? I was looking for this to happen, but for it to swept, this would have swept it first and then it would have happened, I would have took this trade. But I didn't take it because it didn't sweep the highs. So essentially, here what I was looking for was this kind of price action, but the only difference is for it to sweep the highs. And then I would take profits at body candle lows. Ba-boom. Didn't it disrespect the fair value gap you entered off of? What do you mean disrespect it? This one? This one got disrespected. But it never, so like this first one. Where is it? Right, this first one ended up, and you see how it came up here and it kind of held it. But this one got disrespected. So obviously, if it sweeps out, I'm looking for another one. I'm not looking for this one because it already got disrespected. I mean, it already hit the lows, so I was looking for something else. So now it's like, you know, now I'm not looking for. At this point, now, even if it closes below this this gap, the trade is invalidated, right? There's no point of taking a short below this gap now. Because if you look on the 15-minute chart, right? 15-minute chart, we're pretty bullish. Now we can just tap back into this support level because we've closed so heavy above that level. It's not, obviously it's not a sweep anymore, right? The sweep is invalidated. It's not sweeping this level. It's closing above this level pretty strong. So essentially, if we had, for example, right, if say I had a level somewhere down here, essentially I would be looking for something like this, right? For a price to come in, for it to sweep that level and push immediately out of it and start getting bullishness. But obviously that didn't happen up here, so just got invalidated. Now, I mean, the next level is all-time highs. I don't know if this is going to reverse somewhere here. Hopefully it does. Because all-time highs, I'm not shorting all-time highs. I have that level there, but I'm not going to short all-time highs. So, either this thing comes down and maybe tries to, like, maybe get a long somewhere. But It's just the sad part of trading is where you have to just be hands off. It doesn't give you the trade, doesn't give it to you. You just gotta. Short was golden? What short? I don't really see a short here. This short was nice if it would have. This short was nice if it would have taken out the high, but it never took out the high, so. Oh, come on, just short all-time highs one more time. Oh my gosh, you've seen me get wrecked on all-time highs, personally. I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with all-time highs. I'm not messing with it. It's a toxic thing to mess with. It's always like, one more time. And here's the thing. The one time I don't take a short all-time highs, it's gonna work. Like yesterday was a perfect example. Yesterday, for me, price action was horrible. I took 2 very small losses, right? One loss I should have never took. I marked out my level incorrectly, so I took a stupid trade off the... But, like, then the one trade yesterday that I did not take, the one trade I didn't take was literally the bottom, and it worked out perfectly. It's just a part of it. I mean, it is what it is. It's funny because I shorted and you went long. What, today or yesterday? You use AMD in your trading? No, I don't. You're talking about the stock? Oh, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was a, I'm glad it worked for you, because freaking, it was not going for me at all. You know what? I was watching. Here's a funny story. I was watching, there was another, yesterday afternoon, I was watching another trader, like his live stream, recap thing. Bro, like, he goes short yesterday, right? He goes short yesterday, and what does he do? Trade starts going against him, and he starts averaging into his trade. Some of the worst things you could possibly do. Maybe it works for a very few amount of people that know how to use it. It starts going against him. Me, I took a small loss. What he did was it went against him and he started averaging in, and he kept averaging in, and this thing kept dumping and dumping, and he just kept taking a bigger and bigger loss. Essentially, he was averaging into his loser and ended up taking like a pretty big loss. So something also, don't average into trades. If you have a losing trade, don't average into a losing trade. That's just multiplying your losers. Yes, there will be times where it will work for you, but in the long run, it's not something that typically works. What a lot of profitable traders do is they will average into winning trades. People that like, especially people that trade heavy size, right? They'll take an entry, trade starts going in their favor, they'll start averaging in, and then they'll take profit to kind of protect themselves in a way. But those are typically traders that trade like bigger moves. Because if you scalp, right, it's very hard to average in when you're scalping. It's just not something that's... Swing traders average in. But that's like, averaging into a loser is something like, I feel like that's a very advanced tactic. Like... that maybe some like professionals use it, but I would never do it. Man, we got that 24001 short was money. 24001, where's that? You mean 23? Oh, you mean 24. 24, there it is. I mean, yeah. How do you catch that, though? Hindsight, yeah, it's like in hindsight, that's an amazing trade in hindsight, but... Wow. Now it starts dumping. Awesome. It couldn't have done this a little bit earlier. Oh, dude. Don't do that. Just took a chance. Make sure you have a strategy. I'm saying this out of just like... I'm saying this just out of experience. Taking a trade without any kind of strategy is not a good idea. Trust me. I've done that before, and it will work. But in the long run, trust me, you're going to get wrecked if you don't trade with a strategy. And you can't learn, right? If you don't trade with a strategy, like, a lot of times you can't learn. The whole point of taking trades is, like, right, obviously you want to learn from your, the whole point of having a strategy is you want to learn from your mistakes. So if I take a losing trade, I can go back to that losing trade and go, what could I have done better to maybe stay out of the trade, manage risk better, something, what could I have done something better to help me out in the next time I see that same setup. I mean, trading without a strategy is gambling. Yeah, it essentially is. I mean, it's just like you're going and you're just, you know, you're going to like a slot machine, and all you're doing is just... You will win. You will win sometimes, right? Because the market will give you winners, but in the long run, it will take everything you have away from you. Everything you won and more. But I'm just saying, be careful. That's all. If you have a strategy, now if you had a strategy and you went short up here and it was your strategy, that's awesome, because now you can look back and go, wow, it actually worked. I knew exactly. I had a reason why I thought it was going to reverse there, and it reversed there. Awesome. Why did ES dump when CPI numbers were good? So typically what you'll see in the market a lot of times is, I've seen this happen time and time again, where certain bullish news will come out. Typically you think it's bullish, and then the market reacts completely different to it. I forgot, when was it? I think this was COVID, or it was during some form of time. I forgot when. But literally almost every time bullish news came out, the market reacted negatively. It was weirdest thing ever. Like, you literally had to do the opposite. And a lot of times the market already prices in certain, like, expectations, right? So that's why it's like, if you see bullish news, if the market already has a certain expectation priced in, sometimes you can get a bullish move off even a bearish move off of bullish news, because it already has that priced in, so it'll drop. But that's the thing. Sometimes you will see bullish news and you think, oh, this is awesome, this should go up, but it ends up dropping. But yeah, I forgot what time. I don't know if it was COVID or during Trump tariff, but there literally was a time when like certain news events were bullish, it would drop automatically. It was weird. And that's when I learned about it. I was like, why is this freaking happening? It's so weird. It's bullish news, but we're getting a sell-off of bullish news. Trading news is gambling. Yeah, that's why you stay out of news. You're not gonna really predict news. I mean, especially high impact news, like red folder news. Price moves like so volatile, and if you look at the books, everyone stays out of typically news, right? What you'll happen if you have like a level 2 on your chart, right, where you see the orders, the level 2 is pretty much the orders coming in and out. So you'll see, like, if you've ever seen like numbers moving super fast on the book, that's the level 2. And a lot of times what you'll see before level 2, like before news comes out, if you look at level 2, it's called the book starts to thin out. So you'll have a bunch of orders, and like a couple minutes before news, you'll see the book start to get very empty, and people are out of the positions, and then news comes out and people start to jump back in, because you never know what news is going to do. So, and Trump tweets, yeah, and Trump tweets are the worst. I said this before, they got to do something about that, like news events, like, right, we know red folder news is coming out at 10 o'clock. They need to do that for a Trump tweet. Like, Trump is going to tweet something at 10 o'clock. Because freaking, it's happened to me before. I'm in a trade, I'm sitting there, and price just freaking goes insane. And I'm like, what did Trump say? But That's why you have, especially in today's, you have to have a stop loss in place, because if you don't, Trump can tweet something at any point and, you know, price can go crazy. But just a part of, price was so much more predictable when Biden was in office. Price was like, you know, the market does not like uncertainty, and with Trump, that's what you get, is uncertainty. You never know what he's gonna say. You never know what, he's very unpredictable, right? And when you have a president that's unpredictable, the market's gonna be a little more like crazy. When you have a president like Biden was predictable. Biden was very predictable. So the market moved very smoothly during Biden time. To be honest with you, I thought that the market was going to be way better during Trump. I personally liked it better during Biden just because he was more predictable. But that's just market-wise. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm just talking about price action in the market. And like, Biden never really tweeted anything, right? So like, there was never that worry that he's gonna tweet something and market's gonna go crazy. It was very like smooth and very predictable, and but that's, you have to adjust. You have to adjust your, you know, the way you trade based on different presidents, based on different market conditions, and it's the hard part about trading. Market's always changing, right? If you don't adjust, you can easily blow your account. If you're not, you know, adjusting your risk, you're not being careful with your trades, you're not being risk off when you need to be, possibly short sizing down, getting more heavy when it's needed to. That's all hard to do. I mean, in hindsight, it seems easy, but it's a skill that needs to be developed over time. Yeah, right, Biden, there was nothing to be made. He was just predictable, that's it. That's why the market was really, you know. Biden doesn't know how to use social media. He can't tweet because he doesn't know how to use. I don't think he does, honestly. He probably doesn't. But I don't think, like, Trump, when Trump tweets, I don't think he's doing the tweeting. I think he has someone for him tweeting it, right? Or Xing it, whatever you want to call it. Xing it. XXXing it. Did you make the trade? No, I didn't take this trade. Looks like it's working out, but the trade got invalidated because we closed above, right? This 15-minute candle. Once this 15-minute candle closed all the way up here, right? We got this bullish close. It's not a sweep anymore, really. I mean, it is moving down, but in my book, it gets invalidated now because, right, if it closes up here, now this can hold as support to continue going up. What I want to see is something like, you know, a more predictable sweep. Something if price was to do this, right? If price was to really sweep it, and then we got a big wick on a 15-minute candle for my entry. And now it's closing below the gap, and I said I was going to take a trade below that gap, and it looks like it's working out, but, you know, it's just, I wasn't willing. And at this point, the risk to reward doesn't make sense anymore either. That's the other thing why I wouldn't take this trade, even if it does work out. Because look, if I was to enter right here, does the risk to reward make sense, right? I'm literally buying at the bottom. And then my stop would have to be at the top. And my take profit would be like somewhere around here. Just the risk to reward is absolutely horrible on that. So it's just not worth the risk. Who else thinks his son is doing his TikToks? His son is, surprisingly, his son is a big part of why he won. His son was a big part of why he won. So I mean, hey, I seen a video though when he, I seen a video where they were doing about like his background type of, it was during the campaign, and they did like a behind the scenes type of thing, and he was sitting there and he pretty much told somebody that was sitting by him, pretty much told them what to say, and they're like typing on their phone, tweeting it. But yeah, his son was a big part of why he won, because his son told him to do, you know, Theo Vaughn's podcast, all these like podcasts that Trump went on. His son was the one who told him to do it, and that's what really helped him with a lot of people. What if it goes back to the pivot point? Yeah, it's rejecting. You see, it's rejecting off that pivot point. That's why I have these pivot points up here. There's just levels of, I understand price can sometimes have a hard time getting through there. So I don't take trades off of the pivot points. These pivot points are just gauges for me, right? As like extra levels of confirmation, or if I'm in a long and there's a pivot point, I understand that maybe I should take profit before that pivot point, because you see what happened. Look at what price did right here. It literally tapped that pivot point and then it rejected right off it. And this pivot point is the reason I like pivot points also is because it's calculated, right? I don't know how it's calculated, but this level is like specifically calculated by certain, so that's why they typically hold pretty decent. The White House TikToks are savage, so I've never even seen them. I know he made one. I never even seen him. I remember seeing the very first one he made because it went like crazy. I mean, once he made a TikTok. Yeah, Trump is a type of person where I feel like he does stuff and then he thinks about it, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why he was so successful. Because you have two groups of people in life. You have the overthinkers that get like stuck in analysis paralysis, where say they want to start a business or they want to do something, and they'll be stuck in this analysis phase where like they'll be doing it for years before they even make a move. They're just stuck and they're just sitting there and they don't take action. They're just waiting for the right moment. And that right moment never comes. And then there's people like Trump, where he does a little bit of analysis and he just jumps into it. He just does things. Which is, I think, part of the reason why he's so successful. Because he just does things and he just kind of figures it out along the way. This market's favorite area since yesterday all night stayed here. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think it's doing this because of tomorrow. I can almost guarantee you that's why price is moving this way. Looks like that. Right, a lot of people, especially the people that move the market, the hedge funds, all these big firms that really move the market, that take millions of dollar positions, nobody's getting into a position right now right before Trump is meeting with Putin tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen during that meeting. So everyone's risk off right now. Everyone's kind of, out of trades or... When is that meeting happening? Crap. When is that meeting happening tomorrow? Because if that's happening, we may get some sideways action tomorrow too. Honestly. I would not be surprised. Ah, you freaking phone fell. Breaking down below your box to the left. Yeah, well, my entry, I was essentially wanting this one. Not this one right here. This one was the first, kind of. This one right here. My TP would have been right there. So it would have hit my TP, but... Like I said, the reason I would not take this trade, obviously, because we closed so heavy above the level. We didn't sweep it, really. We kind of closed heavy above it. And by the time we got down here, the risk to reward just does not make sense. Even though it hit TP, right? I'm not about to risk, not about to risk like $500 to make, $200. It just does not make sense doing that. So I'd rather stay hands off. But... it did end up working out. What was I about to say? Oh. Hold on. Forex Factory. I wanted to see. Tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow. Alright. 8:30. Red folder news at 8:30. 9:15. What the? Why doesn't it show when he's talking? Forex Factory doesn't show when Trump is talking tomorrow. Let me try to Google it. When is Trump speaking to? I wonder why Forex Factory isn't showing it. Bro, when's the time? What moving average is that? This is the 200-day. 200-day moving average. Exponential moving average. So it's a 200-day EMA. Bro, why isn't it saying what time? Is there not a specific time then? I guess not, because it's just saying tomorrow. It says 10 a.m., does it? You see it on yours? Am I just tripping? I may just be blind. Probably need thicker glasses. Today, tomorrow. I don't see it on mine. $10 a.m. The only thing I have for 10 a.m. is prelim, some kind of inflation prelim, business inventories. That's it. No, yeah, I know he speaks today at 1 o'clock. I'm saying tomorrow. He's meeting with Putin tomorrow in Alaska. That's what I'm trying to figure out, what time tomorrow he's meeting with him. Because I don't want to freaking be in a trade while he's talking to him. But no, I see the one today. I see the 1 p.m. where he's talking at 1 today. But I'm looking for the one for tomorrow when he's meeting with Putin. And I can't find it anywhere. It just says tomorrow. When is Trump meeting with Putin? Oh, I should probably say what time. What time is Trump meeting with Putin in Alaska? It's a one-on-one meeting. Dang. Oh, here it is. I think I got it. All right. Earlier Thursday, Putin aide Yuri Yushakov said the summit would start with a head-to-head talks between Trump, Putin, and their translators. At 11:30 a.m. local time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we followed by a joint news conference. The White House later confirmed. All right, we're good. We're good for tomorrow. It's at 3:30 tomorrow, so I won't be on that. I won't be trading. Woo! That's a W. I was hoping it was gonna be like some dumb time at like 10 a.m. Putin's not gonna meet at 10 a.m. He's got bears to wrestle. He's got bear wrestling at 10 a.m. So it's gonna be at 3:30. He does bear wrestling at 10. Then he does a cold plunge at 11 o'clock. Then he goes hunting at 11:30. Back to his house for a cold plunge and a steak. It's at 3:30. 3:30 Eastern time. So whatever that is, West Coast time. All right, so we're let's see. That's Alaska. We do that. Are you from Alaska? Nice. They're actually about to. I'm in Florida. They're about to league. I don't know if they passed it or not. Bear hunting in Florida. Fairbanks. I have some. I have some people, some friends that live in Alaska. They live in I think it's Anchorage. I think it's Anchorage. Alaska's a cool place, especially in summertime. I don't know if I could live there during winter time, but summertime, it's, man, it's so beautiful over there. Oh, crap. We shouldn't let Putin in Alaska. We got a lot of oil there. He better not try some funny business in Alaska. Maybe he wants Alaska. That's why he's trying to come to Alaska. We got a lot of stuff in Alaska. Alaska's a gold mine for America. Imagine that. That would be horrible. Keep your eyes off Alaska, Putin. Keep Alaska's name out your mouth. Literal gold mine. Gold mine, black gold and gold. Both types of gold. This is NQ Futures. How long did it take you to become profitable? You said to become profitable. So I've been doing this every day for 2 years. I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm crazy profitable. I'm like right above, right past the break-even stage, right past it, right? So like, typically, this is how the stages of trading work. You go from losing like typically sometimes a lot of money, to then losing a little bit, to being break-even, to making a little bit, to making a lot. So it's like, you're kind of transitioning from that break-even stage to starting to make money. Now I'm not like, not doing like any crazy numbers, but you know. But I've been doing it for 2 years. I'll buy Alaska from the money I make from the markets. Dude, America got Alaska for a crazy good deal. I mean, that was a steal. What we bought Alaska for? How much was it? Forgot the price. How much did US pay for? Bruh, the United States purchased Alaska from who? From Russia. The United States purchased Alaska from Russia in 1867 for $7.2 million. That's a freaking steal. Now, what's Alaska worth? Dude, Alaska's probably worth some... How much is Alaska? How much is Alaska worth today? What's the guesses? So we paid $7 million. I'm gonna guess Alaska is worth probably half a billion. I mean, half a trillion. I would assume it's some insane number. Wait, it doesn't say. I don't know if... Oh, dang, I am freaking spot on. With its vast natural resources, including oil, gold, and more, Alaska value is now estimated to exceed $500 billion. That's a crazy return on your investment. Paying $7 million for something and it increasing to $500 billion. What is that in percentage wise? So 7 million to 500 billion. How much percent? So you know what kind of gain that is? So from 7 million to 500 billion, the United States got a 7.142 million % gain on their investment. Putin better not be coming over here to eye it. You know the whole deal with Crimea, right? Russia took Crimea back. Russia better not try some crap in the United States. I don't think he's that stupid to try something in the United States. He's a smart guy, so I don't think he'd do that. Hopefully not. You never know, though. There's a lot of, untapped resources. I'm sure there's a lot of resources that... Gosh, oil itself is such an untapped resource in Alaska. It's insane how much oil Alaska has. How much? I'm doing like... Does Alaska have... How much oil do they have? So Alaska processed significant oil reserve estimated at almost 3.4 billion barrels. So... How much of a reserve is there, like, of an oil reserve in Alaska? So we got, crap. Doesn't say. Yeah, so like, Alaska provides crude oil reserve 3.4 billion barrels, making it the fourth largest in the nation, according to U.S. Energy Information Administration. In 2024, the state's oil production averaged 421,000 barrels per day, ranking it fifth among all states, according to the EIA. While the National Petroleum Reserve in Alaska contains significant potential, with estimates suggesting billions of barrels of recoverable oil, much of this remains undeveloped. Literally billions of barrels of oil in Alaska. Wild. Wild. I think how much money that is. Holy. Look at Copen for... If it's a stock, I'm on the futures market. I can't look at stocks. Bro, it looks like I should have took that short. Freaking A. Look at that. My short would have been the perfect short. Now looking back. Hindsight trading 101. That would have been the perfect short, but... Hey, it's not... Oh my gosh. It's a lot of money. Imagine you have that much money. I honestly would not even... I don't know. I feel like life would be boring. To be honest with you, think about it this way, right? Everyone wants a crazy amount of money, or like... Wouldn't you think life would be boring? Like, isn't the whole fun of life is working hard for something, working hard, and then finally buying that car, finally buying that house, right? Imagine if you just had billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. Like, you could buy anything you want in the world. Like, at that point, I feel like life gets a little more boring. Unless, maybe you're Elon Musk and he's, like, so involved into work. Like, money for him, he doesn't even care about money anymore. He's just focused on getting to Mars. That's his goal right now. That's his like stride. Not the money, is but getting to Mars. I feel like having that much money, right? You just like, life becomes a little more boring. I feel like that's the whole fun in life, is working hard to achieve it. If you were on vacation all the time, vacations would get boring. The whole good thing about a vacation is you don't take it every single time. Right? Why is Ferrari so valuable? Because most people can't afford a Ferrari. That's why they're valuable. If everyone could afford a Ferrari wouldn't be a Ferrari. It would just be a regular car. I don't know. Obviously I would want a lot of money. So I say that, but offer me billions of dollars, I'll take it. I would take it in a heartbeat. All right, I think we're retracing into that gap. Let me see, 15-minute chart. Bro, today's... I guess it did really sweep that high, but we just got such a heavy close above that high. I did not think we were gonna, you know, end up just dumping all the way down. Consider how heavy we closed above that high. Didn't really look like a sweep. It just looked like it wanted to keep going. But yeah, so we got a gap right there. So personally, the reason I wouldn't really want to take a long is because we already kind of took out that high. So we could be going down for these data lows here. I don't know. I mean, it's bouncing off this gap. Also, right? Like, another reason why I would not take this. So, like, I have that level marked out, right? This is like a 15-minute level, kind of. Also, another reason why I would not, for example, this gap, take a long off this gap. Let me delete this freaking crap. First of all, we've already taken out pre-market highs. Like, if you were to kind of long this gap right here, we're like, there's VWAP up here. There's a lot of resistance right here. So there's a high chance that it's going to close above this gap, and then it's going to dump right down. So, you can long, I don't know, it's kind of... Now, you know, it could keep squeezing up, but... I don't know, I feel like this thing could keep dumping. It's just gonna kind of rebalance and then dump. Bro, I'm scared of... Alright, so 11:30. Tapping into that gap, rejecting. But... Man, I unless we get down to data lows, I don't know, maybe I'd take a long off of data lows. If we get the same, if we get a good setup. But data lows are so far down there that I would like it. Personally, I kind of would like it. We got a pivot point down there too. So there's a lot of support down here to potentially get a rejection. You know, a sweep and then a push out of. I don't know if it's going to happen though. We're still like very far away from it. But yeah, hindsight trading, what an amazing short. If anyone took that, congratulations. But this is NQ futures. And we're kind of tapping into that gap too. I mean, we have a bullish gap we're tapping into. This bullish gap right there, kind of popping out of it, just forming support. So you can see what it's doing on a higher time frame. This is why it's important to look at higher time frames, right? We got this big gap right there, And we got this, right? The top of this candle is going to be pretty heavy support, right? Because you could see all the old support, old resistance, I mean, turns into new support. So you could see why it came back down here, right? We had a pretty big level. A lot of action happened around here. So now this is going to hold as support, potentially, to go back up. But I don't know. We'll see what it does. I'm locked out. I had to put on lock so I don't F myself anymore. Yeah, they have a it's smart. It's smart to lock yourself out, especially if you know that you can go on tilt and it's hard to control it. Then yeah, put a lockout so there's no way of trading. So we're, yeah. Took it off the 200 EMA and got 1,500 bucks. Took a quick scalp off the 200. What do you think of TTD? What is TDD? Is that a stock or? We're rejecting off this gap. Oh, trade desk. I don't know a lot of. Yeah, I don't know a lot about them. I trade futures, so I know more about like futures. I have it for TP2. If I make too much, then it locks you out. Oh, okay. For prop firms to not go above like the 30% or whatever, or not the. Followed my plan today and made 30 points for the first time. Congratulations. That's a W. If you followed your plan and you made money, no matter how much, I mean, 30 points, right? It could have. 30 points is a good trade. Followed your plan, you made money, that's a W. That's awesome. Feels good. I know how that feels. But make sure to do that with your losses too. Follow your plan, take a loss, and figure out like if you could have done something better. But that's awesome. Hey, trading is like, people don't realize this, but like people see, especially in the social media space, right? You see, oh, I made $10,000, I made $20,000 in one day, and you see like people trying to put all these like big numbers up. I made $2,000, but like, first of all, a lot of them are capping. A lot of them aren't making that kind of money. Second of all, the only difference between you making, right, $50 a day in trading and you making $1,000 a day in trading is not even strategy. It's just your position. It's your account size, right? If I had, for example, I have 10 funded accounts, right? If I take $100 trade on one account, that's $100 on one account. But if I have 10 accounts and I copy trade 10 accounts, that's $1,000 in one day across, 10 accounts. And that goes same thing with a live brokerage. The only difference between somebody in a live account making $100 and $1,000, they could have the same exact strategy, but their just account size allows them to take higher positions. And that just comes with experience, that comes with down the line. So when you understand that, you're not ashamed of small profits. Because small profits, in the long run, as long as you have a strategy that works and you're profitable, in the long run, you can scale that to be so crazy. And then trading's just a scaling thing at that point, as when you have your strategy down. Ugh. But, alright, I'm gonna hop off soon. I gotta go eat and go work. But I don't think it's gonna kind of going sideways at this point right now. It's gonna be a while before I even get to these lows down here that the other kind of level I'd be interested in. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna hop off. If you're gonna keep trading, be careful. It's already, you know, 11:30. We typically start to get pretty slow at 11:30. You know, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Typically starts to pick back up the last hour of the day. But you know, if you made money, it's better to keep your profits, you know, and not to really take more trades. If you lost money, it's better to maybe walk away and come back tomorrow. There's always more opportunities tomorrow. So that being said, yeah, I'm gonna hop off. I'll be back tomorrow. Take smart trades, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.